This is my Type 10 AFK build. It's well armed and does everything for me, but at the moment it's out of fuel. So what am I going to do? Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Yes folks, my Type 10 AFK build is out of fuel. How did this happen? Took my eye off the ball, ran out of fuel whilst in a combat zone while I was just getting my pews on and earning lots of money. So what am I going to do with it? Well, there's a few things you can do. You can go and call the fuel rats. They're a really good in-game community group and they're very helpful and they've been around forever. Or you can do it yourself. So what do I mean by that? So you can go out and get yourself a ship. I've gone and got myself a Type 7. It's a ship I don't use very often in game and I had to use it for something. Got a nice little stripy paint job on it as well that makes it look a little bit like a fuel truck. And it's called the Fuel Badger. All this aside, this is what I'm going to be using. So, into outfitting, what have I done? Well, with hard points, I fitted it all out with small beam laser turrets. In the utility mount, I've got 2-point defense, top and bottom, and shield boosters to keep those pirates away. In the core, I 5A rated everything, apart from the sensors and apart from the life support. Optional internals, this is where it gets interesting. Yes, a shield generator, a whopping great big cargo scoop, a 5B fuel transfer limpet controller to get the fuel from your ship elsewhere, an additional fuel tank, only a capacity of 8, an advanced docking computer because I'm lazy, and an advanced scanner. Easy. That's all I'm going to need. I was going to put an AFM on there as well so I could do effective repairs as well, but I decided not to. Now for this as well, you're also going to need some limpets. Now don't be put off by the hydrogen fuel. Don't worry about that. That's something else I needed. Oh, don't forget your limpets. It's very important. And perhaps you can go to Down to Earth Astronomy and get a Don't Forget Your Limpets mug. Either way, don't forget those limpets. Once you've set your fire groups, because it's going to be a new ship, you're going to be ready to go. And it's time to get out of Dodge. To use this, I'm using my second account on Steam. Now, we should all have a couple accounts by now, what with super deals on Elite Dangerous Horizons on Steam, and Epic Games gave it away on PC not so long ago. So a lot of commanders have probably got multiple accounts. So my main account has run out and I'm going to refuel it with my Steam account. So here's my Type 10 in this particular system. I've parked it near to a station. Okay, I'm in a private group where this private group and my Steam account are both linked together and I'm in the same wing. I've found the ship and identified it. There it is, floating around doing its thing, and it is indeed running on fumes. Anyway, time to fill up, shall we? So fuel to refuel another ship comes out of your main tank, alright? So that's why I've got an additional tank and a whopping great big fuel scoop. You don't want to get to your destination and then find out you can't fuel the ship. Select the ship with your reticule and make sure it's targeted. Select your fuel transfer and start firing off limpets. And you will start to fuel up the ship. Now it's not going to be a huge amount, as we can see from this view inside the Type 10.
Incoming fuel. Receiving fuel.
Now you can hear the limpets coming in, transferring the fuel over from the main ship. And from the picture-in-picture you can see a view where the ship is firing them off and they just go into the bottom, round about the cargo hatch area. You haven't got to have your cargo hatch down, and that's how the refueling is taking place. Couldn't be easier, and not a fuel rat in sight, but just a fuel badger. So this is all dependent really on the fact, as I mentioned, that you've got multiple accounts. Some people have, some people haven't. Some console commanders may not have 2 accounts. I say I've got a few accounts simply because, you know, I create content and I have to have ships in different parts of the galaxy so I can bring content of what's happening as opposed to jumping here, there and everywhere. But it's dead simple, and I would encourage all commanders, if you have got several accounts, to have an account in just for your refueling, or have a ship in each account where you can refuel the other if needed. Doesn't cost an awful lot of money. Credits are quite, easy to come by in Elite Dangerous at the moment. And to have that facility in-game saves you from an embarrassing call, or from actually losing the ship and any bounties or cargo that you have because you haven't fitted a fuel scoop, or you've just left it a little bit late and like I did, completely and utterly ran out of fuel in the middle of a combat zone with only what was in the reserve tank to get me anywhere. I couldn't even jump all I could do was jump out of the combat zone and hobble and waddle and limp to the nearest point where I could then get my refueling ship in to come and refuel me. Either way, that's it, and that's all there is to it. It's dead simple. Once I was refueled, I was able to get myself off to my carrier, and some would say, well, hey, if you've got a carrier, why don't you jump your carrier to that system and make your way there? There was no free slots, because every man and his dog has a fleet carrier these days, and anywhere of any importance, like where these combat zones were, resulted in my ship not being able to jump in and get a free slot, even though I was only 2 or 3 light years away. Anyway, that's how I overcame this. So, the moral of the story is, fit a fuel scoop. If you haven't fitted a fuel scoop, make sure you've got enough fuel. If you haven't got enough fuel, make sure you've got a facility to get some fuel to your ship. And with that, we use the refueling limpets, and another ship, and possibly another account. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching this short video on Elite Dangerous refueling and a public service announcement on why you shouldn't run out of fuel in the middle of a combat zone. Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, take care, and look for more videos in the series. See you soon.